Hey, everybody. Welcome to Love and Reload, the voice of the relocation industry. I am your host, Ben Cross, here with our good friend, Jack Jampel from Striker Corporation. How you doing, Jack?
I'm doing great. Doing great. Hi, everyone out there.
Jack, we are live in Omaha. I've seen you in New Jersey. I've seen you in Chicago. I've seen you in D.C. I've seen you in a lot of places. It never gets old, by the way. But here we are in Omaha for the first time. You want to tell everybody where we're at and what we're doing?
Yeah, we're at the NEI GPA Summit. It's where all the suppliers get together and partnerships and just kind of do a day and a half of networking and learning more about what NEI is doing and their plans. And it's something that is done once a year, and I've been coming to it, I guess, for 5 years now as a corporate person on the advisory board. So
nice.
Really cool.
Hey, so if you're watching us right now, go ahead and get active in the comments. Hit that like button right now. Go ahead, also throw in some comments. Let us know who you are, where you are, what you're up to. Go ahead and throw questions in there too. We'll answer your questions. This is my first NEI Global Partner Alliance Summit. They call it GPA. Not grade point average. It's GPA Summit. No, but this is my first one, and it's an honor to be here. It's exciting. We just wrapped up one session, which was kind of like an opening remarks, which is really neat to hear from Randy Wilson, the president and CEO, from Al Blumenberg, the senior vice president of client relations and supplier partnerships, I believe, and some of the client development folks as well. So it's really cool to be here. Jack, you mentioned you've been here 5 years. How does someone get look, we got people. Before we hop in, we got to say hey to the people here.
Okay.
Look, we got all these people here. This is fantastic. We got people. Hit that like button, people. Where my people at? Let's see. We got people. Like other people's comments too if you got favorites. Ruby checking in from San Diego. Hey, Ruby. We should say hi to everybody, I think. What do you think?
Yeah. For it.
Angela
Hey.
Sweet.
Erica.
Court, Kansas City, NEI Summit is the best. Angela, have you gone to a lot of NEI summits? Let us know what your experience is. Why do you think you said it's the best? Why do you think it's the best? I'd love your thoughts on this. I'm fortunate enough that I get to go to a few different kind of supplier summits and everything, and I'd love to know your thoughts out there on what you think the best one is, why you think it's the best. Rob Zeitz, hello from Air Inc. in Boston, Mass. Wicked smart in Boston, Mass. Awesome, Rob. Valerie McKenzie, hey, guys, great to see your faces on a Monday. Yeah, we took some time off.
Yeah, right.
We were busy.
Yeah, well, there's a lot going on now, and traveling's opened up a little bit. So, yeah, so this summit's really great. And what happened was the way that this started here with NEI, I guess it was about like 5 years ago, and they started talking about it. And they started putting together their advisory council. And that's where I came up with this suggestion is why wouldn't you have a corporate person on this? Because otherwise it's just a lot of suppliers talking to suppliers and thinking, that everything is known. We know how to get it right. So it's like, why not have a corporate person on as well? And
what was it? What was the first reaction to that?
Well, I talked to Kate Dodge.
So you go right to the top.
So I went right
Jack,
to the top.
Right to the top. I love it. I love it.
So I've been on this board, fortunate to be on this board, and I think I bring value, and a lot of things are discussed about what NEI is doing and different ideas of what's going on in the industry. And then we have this the GPA, like I said, once a year, where all the suppliers get to actually meet with the account executives. They get to meet with the people that they work with every day, and that's just so important.
You just said something right there, and I want to touch on that about the conversations that happen between the suppliers and not only the supply chain and supplier relations people, but also the counselors.
Yeah.
I think that's really dynamic. And I want to talk about that. But first, I want to really quickly just honor the people who are checking in. Erica Burton. Hey, fellas. What's up, Erica? Good to see you. So great seeing you in ERC last week. Stacy Huff checking in here. Glad to have you on the show again, Jack. Look at that.
Hi.
Super producer Stacy. Look at that. Jana Chesnowski. Hey, everyone. Great to have Love and Real back. Awesome to be in Omaha and having Jack with us. Jana, how you doing? Jana's back here. She's offset, making it happen here. Jana, how many U.S. cities is this so far for this trip? She's been a lot.
Wow. She's counting.
She actually got stuck in Charlotte last night, so that's like a bonus city.
She's
6 cities.
wow.
Wow, incredible. Mena, hello from Dubai. What's up, Mena? Mena, I'd love to know what question you would ask at this conference. You always have really good questions. Tim Quirk, Ben and Jack, great seeing you both last week. Can't wait for the show. Thank you, Tim. I'd love to know what question you would ask, Tim. Richard Majewski, hi from London. What's up, Richard? Yeah, we got corporate housing in the house. We had 3 awards given today already for corporate housing providers.
Yeah, that's the other thing that's great is that they give out awards every year, to different suppliers in different categories. So it's really cool, to be recognized for things that happened over the past year. And last year was such a tough year. So it really meant a lot, I think, to a lot of the suppliers that won today. So,
yeah, for real.
Yeah.
And we got more awards coming tonight. So we'll let you know what those are tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're going to be actually interviewing the NEI folks. We got Lon Kammeyer. We got Randy Wilson's going to say a few words. So we got Al Blumenberg, hopefully. We've got a bunch of people, and I don't even have all of them right here, but they're all going to be popping by. We also might have some suppliers popping in today as well. Let me know if you have questions that you want to ask today, tomorrow. I'm happy to ask them on your behalf as well. It could get dangerous, but Mike Falia checking in from Southern California. Good to see you guys on here. Good to see you too last week, Mike. Jamie Massler, great seeing you at ERC. Cheers from sunny Mississippi. This Melissa Moore in the house. What's up? Farrell Elliott, long time no see, boys. What's up, Farrell? Hey, Ben and Jack, good to see you. Hope the summit is going well. How's it going for you so far? When did you get in?
I got in yesterday because we started this morning with a few meetings. And yes, I got in yesterday and saw a lot of people. And today, again, we have the sessions that we have. And I also make it I meet my account team. We go out to dinner with my account team on Wednesday. I think it's just so important that these partnerships.
Why are they so important? Why is it important for you to have that FaceTime with your account team and to have dinner with them?
It's really about trust. It's really about getting comfortable with someone so that you trust them, they trust you, and they don't hide things from you. And the same thing should happen with supplier and NEI relationships. Is that when things happen, you want to have that ability. You know that person, you trust that person. And I think the only way you have that is by these personal type meetings.
I agree with you. And what's the number one, feedback point that comes out of sessions, right? Everybody says better communication. Well, I think we've uncovered over the past year of doing a deep dive around these complaints, kind of the communication, poor communication is sometimes rooted in a lack of trust.
Yes.
Where it's like, I don't want to tell you because I'm afraid of what you're going to say. Right. Or if I tell you this, then you're going to ask this, and then it's going to kind of, and so I think that trust is super important.
It absolutely is. And, it gets back to just being honest about what's going on, because what happens is the longer something takes to resolve, the worse it gets. So if you set expectations up early, and that's what the trust does, it allows you to get right to it, take care of it, and before it becomes anything big. So, the in-person, it's so valuable.
Angela's saying that it's about trust, for sure. Viva Van Bakel, great to see you all. Unfortunately, we couldn't travel over yet. Viva, what is that, November 8th that's happening for everyone? What do you think is going to happen when November 8th rolls around? That was the subject of lunch today, when November 8th rolls around and a lot of the travel restrictions are lifted from some of these countries which have been not allowed to come over.
Yeah.
Do you see a second wave of pent-up demand for the international side?
Yeah, definitely. And I was just talking to my international people, at Stryker, and we're already starting to see the planning for it. So, when the date starts to happen, I think there's going to be a lot of things in motion. So I definitely probably going to see an increase, a significant increase, especially if they start to relieve the ports and what's going on there.
Do you see that flushing? Do you see that flushing out in November, December, January, or unfortunately maybe summer of next year?
No, I think probably by the first quarter.
Yeah,
just in my opinion,
sure.
that because they're taking a lot of actions right now to help clear that up. So hopefully by the first quarter.
Well, I hope it is in the first quarter, because it would be a real tragedy if it happened in Q2, Q3 of next year on top of all the domestic U.S. volume that we already see. If it oh my
Well,
gosh,
the domestic
we could see a
volume,
summer that's worse than last summer.
I don't think you're done with the summer yet. I really
No.
don't. I think it's going to at least go through the end of this year. I mean, it's definitely by industry, but from different corporates I'm speaking to, especially in domestic U.S., seen a big uptick, and a lot of companies aren't even back in offices yet.
I mean, I ran into Kevin Inkenbauer, who owns Ward North American, at the buffet line earlier, and I said, Kevin, is summer over yet? And he's like, no, it's not. He's like, we're at a point right now where we're managing capacity, so that's fine, but it's not over yet.
It's definitely not over, and that's why this setting expectations, and you know, it has to be done as an industry. It can't be these one-offs that we're hearing, you know, war stories and things like that. There's got to be a communication. It's got to be something easy for corporate to use, to explain to their companies, you know, how long it's going to take for an international assignment, or how long do you need to schedule out for your moves. But unless we're provided those tools, you know, it's hard for us to just do it as one-off. So
yeah,
it's that communication thing again.
Yeah, let's see what everybody's saying out there. Viva's in the Netherlands, I believe. Viva, we have flights booked end of November to the U.S. Viva, what are you going to be doing in the U.S.? Is it personal? Is it business? Are you going to be doing the road show that you would have normally done for, you know, Worldwide ERC, IAM, et cetera, in October? You'll be doing that in late November, December. I'm really curious. Amy Yount, yes, I'd rather be upfront and honest to figure out a resolution together. You know, that's great to say, but without trust, if I tell you something and we don't have a good relationship, I'm afraid of what you're going to say to me.
No, you're absolutely right. And I was in a conference I won't say what the industry was, and we talked about trust and how we need to get into the same room between different industries. And there's a fear of saying what's on your mind because you may lose the business, and that's real. That is real, and that's what's getting in the way.
Yep.
You know, is that there's this fear that, oh, they won't use us if I'm honest about, you know, what my feelings are. And that's not healthy, but I'm not sure what the answer is.
Well, I think this is the answer. The answer is at ERC. It's at these amazing supplier conferences, client conferences. It's something about getting in the same room, shaking hands, pressing the flesh. You know, maybe doing a little bit of karaoke. I'm hearing, this is a good team building thing. Jana loves karaoke over there. So we got to, so she's your duet partner.
Yeah.
She's the share to your Sonny. Debbie Mills saying, hi, Jack. When are you going to karaoke? Isn't that an Omaha and NEI tradition? Is this something I don't know about yet, Jack? Am I going to be indoctrinated into the karaoke?
My account team has some really good karaoke singers, so it's something we do almost like a tradition once a year. We go out to karaoke, and it's a lot of fun, and it's a team building thing, you know.
Yeah.
And that's what it's about.
Maybe we could do something easy, John, like Copacabana or something.
Yeah.
Copacabana. All right, maybe she's laughing at me, not in a good laugh either. Like, and I'm gonna kill you laugh. Richard Majewski saying last week a webinar suggested Q1 1922. I think he means 2022, but everything travels in cycles. That was about as long as it took to get over the Spanish flu. Richard, are you suggesting that this goes on another year and 5-6 quarters? Do you see this going on another 6 quarters?
Just by watching what's starting to happen in the U.S., I don't, in my opinion, I don't believe so. It just seems like things are starting to open up, and now with the boosters coming out.
But here's the thing, Jack. Okay, I agree with you, and I hope you're right, and I'm rooting for you, and I'm praying. I just did a post over the weekend. The U.S. is 49th in the world in vaccination rates. We're at 57% vaccinated. I saw a headline: Portugal is nearing an endemic phase, which is an endemic is defined as a 1-to-1 transmission of the virus, right? Which I think at one point we were 1 to 8, 1 to 9, or something like that. We're not anywhere close to there yet here. Doesn't it depend on how well we can vaccinate our population?
Here's my belief on this is that we probably will not do too much better than where we are today
from a vaccination
vaccination perspective, because at this point, but I think until everyone is able to get vaccinated, and I'm including, infants to 5-year-olds, because I think now they're coming out with 6 to 11, but I have
Yeah,
grandkids.
5 to 11. I
Yeah,
heard.
but I still have,
Got a little
grandkids
one,
that's
yeah.
1 and 3 years old, so
Right,
they're
right,
not
right.
protected.
Right.
So until that group is able to protect themselves, then we'll still have this big push, upon the vaccination. But I think once that happens, it almost feels like, okay, these are the people that got vaccinated and these are the ones that didn't. And if you want to risk,
and it just comes to an acceptable risk rate. I mean, that's where we're at the flu, right?
Yeah.
Flu shots are recommended but not required. And so you're saying this just becomes an acceptability. What is our palate for? But here's the thing. Okay. I hear you on that, and yes, and that might be the way it plays out here in the States, because we just have, so many personal freedoms and all that kind of stuff, right? But when I look at the port issues, and I look at the fact that I can't go to Panera Bread, walk in and buy a muffin because they can't staff, and I have to go through the drive-thru. And I look at the fact that they're canceling flights and delaying travel because they can't find the staff, the vaccinated staff to work them. To me, the economic prosperity of our country is hinging on being able to return to office, return to work, whatever that workplace looks like, whether it be working a port, whether it be an airline flight attendant, whether it be a Panera baker, whether it be wherever. And I think it becomes an issue of national economic security, if not national security.
So do you believe that the vaccination is what's causing employment issues?
Well, it is on the airline side, because they're requiring people to get vaccinated. I think I could be wrong. People are going to fact check me, I'm sure. The Panera thing, I think it's just a lack of labor. What do I attribute a lack of labor to? Well, it has to be something correlated to the pandemic.
I don't know. I think that you may be right, but there may be something more to it. It could be that people are paying more now in so many different industries that, these other industries are going to get hurt. I mean, household goods is going to be a great example of how do you go up against, drivers that can just back up to,
bump docks,
whatever they're called,
bumping docks.
Okay?
They're just backing it in, beep,
Right?
beep, beep,
Exactly.
take a nap, load me up, get going.
So how are you going to compete against that? And that's not related to COVID. That's just because they're paying now more for that. So you're right. I think it's economical.
Well, the fact they're paying more to it is to move the backlog of goods that was caused by a shortage during COVID. So you're saying once that backlog runs its course, once we get through the holidays, which, by the way, it sounds like, the holidays, there might not be toys under the tree or around the Hanukkah bush this holiday season, because we can't get adequate supply.
But don't you think that a lot of that backlog is because they're now catching up in making things that we couldn't make over the past year,
But I mean, you're saying this is temporary, it's going to flush out, and then we're not
right.
going to have an issue anymore, and things are going to reset a little bit.
Right. Just like everything else we go through in cycles. I mean, I don't know how long it's going to be, but I think, wages are going to have to go up to be competitive. I mean, how else are you going to find
I would agree with that.
And at the end of the day, we're going to pay for it. If you want to move people, then we're going to have to pay. It's,
so. I agree. Well, let me ask you along those lines, right, around paying, right? Because everything's going up. I mean, even if you take away the supply curve and the demand curve,
right.
If we just look at the sheer rate of inflation between 2021 and 2020, I'd love to see a stat on this. Somebody could look it up. But what's the rate of inflation on the U.S. dollar? I think it was 5% and change this year, which is compounded on top of whatever growth was last year. So I'm just going to throw a number out that's near 10%. I could be high, but let's just say it's 8%. If everything costs more, 8% more than it did before the pandemic, not to mention all the other labor costs going up. I mean, the wages for movers going up from $12 an hour to $15, $20, $22 an hour. I mean, crazy stuff like that. Cardboard, wood and lumber, all the
Fuel.
stuff, right?
Yeah.
The chassis and trucks and just equipment itself, right? Will our clients be willing to pay the additional cost the prevailing wage, the cost to move. Will they be willing to pay the cost of relocation?
I think companies are going to take a look at it and start to maybe say, you know what, we need to hire more locally, or they're definitely going to take a look at it if costs start going up tremendously. But it's, it's the same thing. You're going to pay $4 for a gallon of gas now. Are people not driving?
No. They're gonna some
they're
population
adjusting
is. They're adjusting.
They're adjusting, and I think the same thing is going to happen in relocation. Are they going to cut back benefits? Probably not. You still need certain benefits. It's just a matter of, will the number of relos be reduced, and that could possibly happen.
Yeah.
As a result, I have something. Jamie's got that comment.
Yeah,
there.
He does. Hit that like button, by the way. If you're enjoying this conversation, hit that like button. Feel free to share it. Let's pull Jamie's up here.
Yeah, go ahead, read it first.
So I saw Jamie on Friday, and we're sitting around at Worldwide ERC at the Hyatt Regency, just shooting the breeze. And Jamie says, "You got that right. My flight was canceled Friday and delayed 5 times Saturday. Jenna's flight was delayed as well. I got home Saturday night and was due to deadline of SkyWest doing business as American Airlines employees being vaccinated by Friday, or they were terminated."
Okay, so my question, Jamie, is that you put together, the cause and effect here. Is that factual that that's the reason it happened? And it may be, but I just need to know that. Or is it just something that you're making that assumption from what we're hearing?
Put a link, find an article,
Yeah.
put a link in the comments for the article. That would help, because when I researched this, I actually looked this up too. And I saw that initially there was a hard deadline. Then they came out a week or two later and said, no, people won't be fired. So I've heard back and forth on it. But I will tell you, we're sitting around here. Jonna's flight was canceled. A whole bunch of people here came in today. They were supposed to come in yesterday. So I don't know what's up, but I don't think it was weather related between Chicago and Omaha.
There was weather related.
Well, there was weather on the West Coast.
There was weather in Chicago.
Did that cause an issue?
Causing issues. And then then you start to, think it's related to the terminations and everything, but it was weather related, and it may have been. But so that's why I like Jamie to kind of see if he can find something on that.
Jack's always holding people. Jack, see, when you come on now, all of a sudden the burden of proof goes through the roof. Now we need facts and everything. It's supposed to be a fact show. We're not reporting as an analysis show. Unfounded opinions are welcome here, Jamie. Anytime.
No, I like that he wrote it. I like that he put that there, but I'm just trying to show,
No, I hear you. I hear you.
It's
Chuck White, here's an unfounded opinion. Chuck White, welcome to U.S. Economics 101.
Exactly.
Chuck's the only person with a master's of education on this program.
It is. It's Economics 101.
This is great. This is great. I love it. Janet Turner says, thanks, Jack, for checking the facts. Oh.
And it may be, like I said, I'm not.
Jonna's hearing these murmurs as well at the airport last night. An incredible number of flight cancellation delays, many due to vaccinations. Interesting.
See, bad news is easier to discuss and things like that. When you get riled up on,
we like to point to like one silver bullet cause sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
That's true.
And
that's true. Like the whole labor shortage. Like here's another one, and this came up over lunch. The labor shortage. One of the myths or the theories that it's often floated about. The labor shortage is due to people making more sitting on the couch than they make going to work. I'm not sure. I always believe that. I actually heard a podcast about this early in the pandemic when they were still issuing stimulus checks around this stuff. And I don't know what stimulus is still around that. So is that is that a fact or a myth?
Right.
I'd love to ask people out there who access the internet, is it a fact or a myth that people are still to this day, October 25th, 2021, sitting on the couch because they're making more money from the government to do so than working? To me, it kind of smacks of some other narratives, honestly. Yeah. Let's see here. Richard Majewski. I was fascinated in that same webinar by Vivi's Altavita research that projected whole districts of cities could disappear, and even some large cities as a result of COVID.
Okay, so here's another great, along what he's talking about. Everybody said cities are going to all die, and everyone's moving out of the cities, and now everyone's coming back into the cities,
Yes, but look at, I just moved from Detroit. Detroit had this problem for about 30 years.
Right.
Maybe more. Since the 60s all the way until basically Quicken Loans moved in and bought 85 buildings and poured a whole bunch of money in
right.
and everything like that, and propped it up, and then everybody came back in and followed it. So it is possible. Now, will it come back again? Yes, but is it a V or a U? Right? When that what we were talking about before.
Yeah, that right. But everything's in a cycle.
Well, this is fascinating because we have all this infrastructure built up with these cities, with all these office buildings, right?
Right.
And let's just assume a 10% change in the amount of people that work from home, or a 20% change, whatever it's going to be. What happens to these massive office buildings? I don't know.
I bet the myth.
Let's see. Robin, I bet myth at this point, but a few months ago, I would have thought the government incentives was holding back many people from seeking employment. Robin, great point.
Yeah.
So if it's a myth now, let's say it was true 6 months ago, 10 months ago. What is it now? As we're watching a bunch of guys in hard hats and OSHA compliant gear walking by us right now. Why are people not at work right now? Or let me rephrase, not why are they not at work?
Well,
why has demand outstripped?
Okay, let me
capacity?
ask, what's the unemployment rate right now? Does anybody know
Fact
that?
check it. What's the
Fact check.
unemployment
What's
rate?
the unemployment
Johnny,
rate?
can you look up the U.S. unemployment rate right now? It's fun. We got we got people in studio here. Shout out to
Jack
Jana.
Craven, weather in Chicago.
Jack.
Yeah, there it goes. Mid-morning yesterday until now, it's horrible, rain and heavy winds. That's what was causing it.
Barb Hale says less than 4%.
So my question, okay, is where is the problem? If there's less than a 4% unemployment rate, is it really people are sitting on their couches? I mean,
You got 5.5,
even that,
5.2.
even that.
So Jana's got 5.2.
5.2.
And that's in August. So now we're at 4.8. So even lower.
So when
That's a pretty acceptable unemployment rate.
Absolutely, yeah. That's
not as low as it
times,
was.
No.
Now we were at like 1%, 2% at one point.
Yeah, but I think that's not a bad number. 4.8, 5.2. It's not a bad number. So, again, you start scratching your head and saying, well, why can't you get people working in restaurants, or why can't you get people? Because they're getting paid better somewhere else. That's
the real thing. The pay.
That's what it is.
Pay change. Yes, Vinny Valverde 4.8% as of today. Bridget Ritchie 4.8 as of 3 days ago. Look at this. People are dialed in right now. This is great. It was like we're having a conversation. This is real. Hit that like button right now, please, and thank you out there. If you're enjoying this conversation, if you've got a question for Jack, let us know. If you've got a question for anyone here at the NEI GPA Summit, let us know.
What about people going to contract work or starting?
There we go. Robin.
Go ahead.
You want to read it?
Yeah. What about people going to contract work or starting own business versus working for a traditional employer?
I think it's huge.
Yeah. I think it is huge. I think a lot of people learned a lot while living at home. I think people that work from home, I think are going to resign from jobs quicker because they will not feel as as part of the organization as much. They'll start looking around more. They're going to start finding opportunities that pay more. So I think it could backfire.
They're also able to moonlight a little bit easier as well and kind of dip their toe in entrepreneurship. I mean, that's real.
Yeah.
That's real.
Yeah.
That's real. Look at Al commenting. Al.
Al.
Talking about doing double duty over here.
Get in here, Al.
Yeah, where are you at over here, buddy?
You don't have to type in. Come on in.
Al say with all the flight issues, we were doing extremely happy with everyone who were able to join us in Omaha.
Absolutely. Yeah.
For sure. Al, great event, by the way, Al. So real. Oh, look at this. We got a couple of people. Let's read some of these comments here. Barb Hill, hotels in Chicago are paying $38 per hour for housekeepers. Barb, is that too much?
It's not too much if that's what you have to pay to run
the
your
market.
Business.
You know what's crazy to me? You know what's crazy to me? And Barb, I'm not saying this is you. This is other conversations I've had. I don't want to mischaracterize you at all. But I hear wealthy people talk about that's what the market dictates when it's to their advantage. But when it's not, and when people who have been on the bottom of the totem pole for a long time are asking for 50% pay increases because they haven't gotten them for 20 years.
Yeah.
And then they say, well, that's what the market dictates. It's like, oh, everybody's up in arms. How could you possibly, Barb, again, not saying this is you, but I hear this from my my movers. I hear this from everybody who's just going to Mickey D's and
Yep.
can't find people to flip burgers and all kinds of stuff, right? We've been getting over for a long time with people working for sometimes single digit hourly wages.
Yeah. And the
for a long
Kara,
time.
Kara says it there. I think a lot has to do. I don't know where she went.
A lot has to do with insignificant pay. Minimum wage needs to be raised.
And it's happening naturally. It's happening without putting a minimum wage in there.
Yeah.
It is what's happening.
But now, so let's take this step further, because here Barb's an entrepreneur. Now she's going to have to pay $38 an hour for housekeepers, right?
Right.
And frankly, that's what I'd need to earn to start being a housekeeper.
Right.
So now what does that do to her costs?
What does that do to her costs?
What does that do to her pricing?
Well, what does it do to her price? Exactly. Who's going to end up paying is going to be me. And whether we want to use it or not is going to be up to the business. Okay? She's not going to eat that. She's not going to eat that cost.
But think about this, though, too. All the other... So the hotels are doing it. Now corporate housing is going to have to do it. Everybody's playing by the same cost structures.
Correct.
Is it neutral? Or are there other alternatives out there that start to emerge?
No, it's a good point. It is neutral.
Here's a dirty house cleaning yourself and pay $70 a night.
Yeah, right. No, that's a great point. So then it comes to me, we pay for it. So then our products have to go up because we're spending more.
Right now, the cost of hips goes up now.
Yeah, so it's a cycle. You're right. It's like it doesn't end. It kind of goes on.
It all kind of goes on. It kind of just goes
but
on.
I think to say, we're paying $38 an hour, I don't believe, Barb, that you're going to take that and eat it. You're going to somehow adjust your pricing.
Right. That's not coming out of margins.
Right. You have
For sure.
to.
Angela's saying, I can tell you from my days at the Hyatt, the housekeepers work really hard. Yeah, Angela, they do. Movers work really hard too, right?
Yeah.
Servers work hard, cooks, dishwashers. I mean, all these people work hard.
Absolutely.
Landscapers, roofers. All these people, frankly, I think have been underpaid for a long time. That's how I feel about it.
No, I know what you're saying.
I don't necessarily want to pay more, but I get it because I wouldn't do that job.
Yeah, I think it's just what the economy will stand, because everybody's going to say, I don't get paid enough. I don't get paid enough either. It's like, what is enough? So it's what the economy can really stand to support businesses.
Interesting.
And,
Let's see here. Elena saying, agree, Angela. They're also on the front lines of keeping the space safe and healthy. Now, Janet brings up a good question here, and this is a question that's often raised. Do the unemployment numbers include only those that are collecting unemployment or the possible frontline workers, say, for example, in New York, who do not choose to be vaccinated and may be fired and possibly cannot collect?
Well,
I think we need more information on that.
I think, but it doesn't really matter because we've always counted it that way. Okay,
Janet's going to say, but if you've been fired for not being vaccinated, and I don't even know if this is true, that you can't collect unemployment. Well, that'd be like being fired for. That'd be like being fired for cause, though, and not being able to collect unemployment.
I think you should still be able to collect unemployment.
So, what numbers go into the unemployment number?
Because there's no law that you have.
If you're fired for not getting vaccinated, no, there's no law, but it would be for cause, I think.
I think you can collect. Is there anybody that can verify that? Could you collect unemployment if you're fired for not being vaccinated?
And please link to the article. we need receipts out here.
With Jack here.
Look at this. Jack's the rigor, the academic rigor is through the roof at this point. We need annotated bibliographies.
No, because
footnotes.
rumors just get us in trouble. They just,
I like rumors. I love a couple of rumors everyone.
That is true here in Oregon. If you're laid off, not vaccinated, you are not eligible to receive unemployment. But is that for a certain period of time, Vinny? Like, do you have to then wait a certain period of time? I think you can collect at some point. There's a period of time that goes.
Janet's saying 2 teachers in New York did not get vaccinated and lost their jobs and are not able to collect.
They're not able to collect. Wow.
Very interesting.
That's interesting.
Jean is looking it up and saying that is correct as well.
All right. So then your question was a valid question. Are they counted in the unemployment?
Are they but
if you refuse a vaccination mandate.
So they're not able to collect unemployment, but we didn't actually answer the first question, which are they counted in unemployment numbers?
Or are they? No, they probably are not, because aren't the unemployment numbers only those who are collecting? that registered to collect, they're not the ones.
Yeah, we need details on that.
Yeah.
Michael Cadden said we had no housekeeping while at the Hyatt, so fewer housekeepers needed. Yeah,
Well,
I mean that's what they're doing, right?
that's an
When you check in, they're like,
interesting-
do we need you to turn down your room every night?
you know something? So
Everything.
they're saving money too. If you think about it. So now I'm wondering, are they
And now
doing it
Jack's
to
like,
save
"Where's that?"
money? Like I didn't get housekeeping for 2 days.
I didn't get it all week.
Yeah, right. And you get towels. They just deliver up towels or whatever you need. So
Yeah.
is it a cost savings thing?
Well, and then from it, and I'm a silver lining kind of guy.
Yeah.
But and then from an ESG, right, a sustainability standpoint,
Right.
right, they were trying to get you to use less towels and everything, and so they wash less towels, but I mean it creates more sustainability too.
Right. More unemployment.
Yeah. Let's see here, Sarah. I think no, your job is there, but you are not fulfilling the requirement for your job. The employer can fight it and most likely win. Yep. They only clean every 3 days at the Hyatt. Interesting. I wanted to switch. This is a great conversation, Jack. I mean, you never disappoint. You're even better in person. I don't know if I didn't know that was possible. Let's see here. I want to go back to something we were talking about, the value of being in person. I did not get cleaning for 3 days. I had feathers from the boa all over my room.
Oh, God.
Benny, I love you, man. This
Geez.
is great. This is great. All right, last one here. Carolyn, don't forget about the childcare issues too. Many parents looking for work often have issues because they can't find childcare, either due to childcare shortages or non-traditional hours that come with the service industry, where we are seeing worker shortages. I think this is real. I think it's real. Now you might say, well, what about before the pandemic? Didn't they have the same challenges?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it changed. I think there needs to be some time for people to figure out their situation. You also have people caring for dependents that they didn't have to care for before, or caring for people with COVID symptoms, long COVID symptoms. If people passed away, what does that do to their household? If it can fracture that situation.
But getting back to Carolyn's point there, what did we do beforehand? Why did it become now a bigger issue than it was before? What made that happen? Are people just more, aware of it now, or?
So I have a theory that I floated at lunch, actually, when I was talking to some counselors, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on this theory, is that people who were dual income families before might choose not to be dual income families now. A couple of reasons. One, your costs go down. You can actually need one car instead of two. You're not taking family vacations all over the place. You're not eating out as much. Maybe you've reevaluated your priorities and you realize family time matters more than it did before COVID. The other part being that a single family earner could have potentially increased their wages during COVID due to the hot job market.
Right.
We've seen wages going up. So if like 20 grand, 30 grand was the difference between like making a decision to be a a dual income family and a single income family, now that other earner might have gotten that during COVID, or the other person's income might have went down, or some combination thereof. So it made sense for them to become a single earning family.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Quigley also has a mystery. He didn't have a boa, but still has feathers.
In his hotel
So Quiggs,
room.
I don't know what to tell you about that, buddy, but the struggle is real, my friend. Here we are in person. I want to switch gears real quick. We got 50 people on LinkedIn. This is amazing. Give yourself a round of applause. Hit that green round of applause button there if you're on LinkedIn. We got a bunch of people on Facebook as well. Appreciate y'all so much. Thank you so much for being here. Look, people are actually citing sources. This is great.
All right.
Lost your job, refusing Vanta. Yep, awesome. So we're sitting here and we're having lunch, and we were talking about the value of being in person. And one of the cool things, I have to give NEI a big shout out for this, because one of the cool things is they invite their counselors here.
Yeah. So
I'm sitting at lunch with a couple of service providers. One's in DSP, one is a moving company, and there's an international counselor there. And we're having such a rich conversation, very much like this. And the counselors get exposed to that kinds of conversations, when before it might be people like at a strategic level, or the senior, supplier relations people or whatever.
Yeah.
The information doesn't always filter down. It doesn't always filter down with the same richness
Yeah, I mean, those are the people that are talking to
Yeah.
the employees,
Right.
and they're hidden so many times from companies. But NEI does a great job of making sure that the counselors are involved in a lot of these meetings and getting them talking to the people that they're on the phone with or emailing with all the time. And that's so critical to know people. And, that's what brings the trust and the personal relationship around that. So,
Yeah, I would love to see more RMCs find a way. And I know it's not easy because I mean these are the folks that are also doing the work, right? How do you get them?
RMCs people are afraid that account executives are going to say the wrong thing. It's like this fear. If they get to talk to me or something, they may say something wrong.
Oh,
so there's a lot of that, that protection, that false protection. I don't believe.
so you think that they're
necessary.
afraid the counselors of putting the counselors in the same room with the corporate folks?
Right, that they're going to say something wrong or, and they're not being monitored or something like that. And again, it gets back to that trust thing.
See, I want to see the counselors in
know?
the room with people like me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I might
that
say the
too.
wrong thing. I don't know, but I mean, because then we possess this deep knowledge in these different service verticals. We can talk about port congestion. We can talk
Okay.
about furniture shortages. We can talk about
Yeah.
all sorts of things. Vinny's saying that is super cool. Great job, NEI. At the end of the day, if the counselors are aware of what is going on, they are setting the right expectations with the employee on what truly matters. Vinny, you were a counselor, I think, at one point, weren't you? I think with Grable. I'd love that perspective. Anybody else think it's important to have counselors talking to the service providers?
Yeah.
And how could we even facilitate that more? Because I mean, I know creating trust and transparency is a big mantra for you across the industry. I'd love to think about that.
Yeah, and it's a tough thing across this industry. We say we're a very trusting and transparent industry, and quite frankly, we're not. When you talk about things like this, when you're afraid, your counselor is going to say the wrong thing to, a supplier, that's not a good trusting thing. I see Valerie just said it's a developing legal issue about that unemployment. She sent a link on that.
I think, yeah, in regards to the
unemployment. So
getting fired for
I just wanted to bring that up again. So it's not, I guess, done yet as far as how that's going to be handled. But I think as an industry, there's just so much competition in what I believe is a small industry. Mobility is such a specific, industry. And, in most companies in mobility, that is their core business. It's not like other businesses that may go off and do other things. So if this drops, then, they can pick up somewhere else. In mobility, pretty much your household good movers are household good movers. And they can do COD or companies, but, for the most part, RMCs are RMCs, and they have nothing to fall back to if they lose business. So that's an area, concern.
Super interesting. The comments here have been amazing. We've got a lot of likes on a lot of different comments here. I'm going to ask everybody watching this right now, find your favorite comments or maybe top 5 comments, throw likes on them. I'm going to highlight whoever gets the most comment or the most likes on a comment. I don't know. We're going to do something. We're going to do something for them, Jack.
We're going to try something.
We're going to do something. We're going to send them.
All right.
We're going to send them a prize. Whoever gets the most. John is looking at me like I'm crazy. I am crazy. That's fine. I am crazy, but we're still sending them a prize. Whoever gets the most likes on a comment, we're gonna send you a prize. So go out there and start liking everybody's comments here. I see some with 6 on here. I see a bunch. Yeah, keep liking comments. Let us know.
And in the meantime, what's another controversial topic you want us to talk about?
Yeah,
controversial. What's something else that's on
yes.
people's minds that's bothering them and kind of.
Let's see what we got here. Let's see.
What we got going
on. Let's see. Vinny says, yes, where I started international assignment consultant. Karina, absolutely. It's important for the counselors as much as it is for the client. Yeah, 1,000%.
Crazy.
It's the same fear to put employee clients with vendors and suppliers. I think both are so valuable. That's another one. Like, putting the clients in the room with suppliers.
Ooh, that's a no-no.
That's a no-no.
That's a no-no.
As we sit here, as Jack and I sit here next to one another, precariously close to one another.
That's
That's
a no-no.
a no-no. Why is that a no-no, Jack?
It's a trust thing again. They think just because you're talking to another supplier that you're going to go with that supplier.
Yeah, but what if I'm like particularly charming?
It It hasn't worked so far.
I
has it,
know,
Brian?
and I've been particularly charming. I've known you for like 8 years, and I still got so. All right, let's see. Vinny Valverde, small industry but mighty.
Barb.
Jana Chesanowski, you're crazy. We love that. Barb, should relocation companies, coordinators tell the transferees the issues we have in the space? Supply chain issues, inventories, 50-50, the feedback I received. Oh my gosh, Barb, so hilarious. I want to hear your thoughts on this chat, but I'm going to tell you, at lunch today, we're sitting with one of the people, one of the suppliers, and they're going off about how they can't find destination services consultants, right? DSPs, right? DSCs to counsel or take people on home finding trips and
Right.
all the stuff the DSCs do, right? And how they're filing on these DSCs are filing unemployment, but they're still working for the DSC as a DSC. But then when they get offered a job, they have to take it, or else they're going to lose their unemployment. So they take it for 3 weeks, and then they miraculously get fired again, and they come back and they want to work. And she's telling this story, and then at the end, she's like, "Wait, you probably think I'm crazy and that you don't want to do business with us anymore." And it was like, no, it made it real to her, I think in that moment.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts about this,
All right.
Barb's point?
Yeah, what Barb's point? I think the responsibility of this, if you're outsourced to an RMC, I think it's the RMC's responsibility to talk about what's going on in the market, whether it's supply chain issues with temp housing or if it's household good moves or anything like that. I think that's part of the RMC's job. And we've talked about this, Barb, in the past, is that we have no central way of communicating a common message. It's all over the place that there's supply chain issues with corporate housing, but to the corporate person, like me, we hear about it, but there's nothing that I can report to my management about it that I'm comfortable in doing. So I think, it's the RMC's responsibility to provide communications like that we can then use.
Yeah, I love it. Because then you can take those stories back and start telling those stories. Hey, we got people joining us over here.
Good. I'm getting dry. So
I'm getting dry. This is great. Vinny said, I love it. I want to be in the middle of all the providers. Bring it on. The more BOAs, the better. This is fantastic, Vinny. I love you. We love put our partners and clients. Pam Capecci over there at Grable says we'd love to put our partners and clients together. Thanks, Pam. Are y'all going to come over here? What's up? Come on. Who we got over here? Oh, Jack, you're leaving. All right, Jack. Let's see here. Come on. Who we got here? Lisa Fontana and Liz Martin. How's it going? Oh my gosh, this is fantastic. Look at this. Look at this. How are y'all enjoying this summit?
I love
Beautiful.
this.
It's gorgeous outside too.
Yes.
All right, who's been here before?
Not me.
I've been here before.
Never.
I've never been here before either. First time.
Yeah, first time.
First
in
time
Omaha.
attendee.
And first time in Omaha.
And let me tell you, they put on a great
Yes.
conference.
Yes,
Absolutely great conference.
absolutely.
All right, y'all got. I know we've been warmed up already, but y'all got to speak up just a little bit for the people in the back. What's
Who's
been your
there?
favorite? I don't know. I have no idea. We got
Sorry.
like 50 people on this. We got
Oh,
another
nice.
16 people over there. We got a bunch of people
Wonderful.
here and there. What's been your favorite part so far, Liz?
Well, I mean, my favorite part would be, I think last night, it was nice to so I come from the broker world leading Aries. So it's good to kind of see all my, broker peeps around. So we had
Broker
dinner
peeps.
last night. Yeah. So we had dinner last night with Pam Jack Nick. So that was fun. So
Shout
I
out
love
Pam.
that. Yeah. And Al Bloomberg, he's just hilarious. So I just love listening to him. He makes everything very exciting. But really, I mean, yeah, so far the conference is great we're just getting started, really.
Liz, we're getting a lot of love right here. I think we need to take just a moment and just dwell in the love for a second.
This is
okay?
probably I'm gonna get emotional.
People, hey, Lisa and Liz. That's Pam, I think. Janet, double L's, double trouble.
I agree with that.
I don't even know. Is that a thing?
That's
We make
probably true.
it's a t-shirt. Liz, Pam Metzger checking in. Francine, hi, Liz and Lisa.
Oh, I love
Isn't Francine a doll?
Okay, so
Talk about it.
let me just
Well,
say
you
this.
want me to tell what I like about so far though?
Yeah, we want to talk
Yeah.
about that.
Yes.
Can we
Yeah.
just give Francine a shout
Okay.
out though?
Yes. Yes.
Francine, honestly, is an angel on earth.
Yes.
That girl went all the way to Walgreens in Chicago as if she knew her way around there and found me house slippers because my feet were hurting at the
Yes.
Thursday night
Yes.
after party. So
And brought you slippers to the
she-
party.
That's a
she
true
got
friend.
into an Uber.
To the club.
That is a true friend.
Amazing. I love
Yeah.
her. I honestly, I don't even know. And I would do it on her sometimes. So There you go, Francine.
Give Francine a like. Can we hit that like button for Francine? Lisa, what is your favorite part?
Well, since this is my first one, I'm learning actually a lot about NEI that I knew they were a great company, great RMC, but I really like the different things that we've learned, what Pam shared as well about partnering. So I'm learning a lot. I really am. So.
Wasn't it cool, the poll that they put up with like Woody and
that
Buzz?
was cool
and
too.
I loved that. That was
Who'd you
good.
vote for? I was a Woody and Buzz.
I
Who's your
kinda
favorite
wanna-
duo? That was the poll. Who's your favorite duo?
Mine was Bradley and Lady Gaga.
Me
Sorry.
too.
Oh my gosh, Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga. Is that really a top 6?
It is
duo
for me.
of
I thought
That
it was
was that
kind of
good?
strange too, but then I thought,
But
no,
it's your
they're
favorite,
so
though.
good
Oh my
because
gosh, I'm
it's
like,
so
if
good.
If we could just have sung it right after that, that would have made it
Okay.
even better.
I'm sorry.
I didn't even know who the people who were won. I didn't know who that combo
Shallow.
was. No,
Who?
who was the combo
Sonny and
that
Cher?
won? No, the
Sonny and
combo.
Cher.
Oh,
No.
it was Star Wars. It was
Oh, yeah.
Chewie and Han Solo or something like that.
I'm probably gonna get crap for that.
Yeah,
but
drag
I
Liz in the comments, please, for not knowing Star Wars characters. This is great. Jamie Master, 2 of my favorite peeps. Teresa Pope
Aw,
checking in.
Jamie.
Thank
Jamie's
you, Jack.
such a great guy.
Jana saying,
Aw.
looking fabulous, ladies.
You too in that white suit.
That's right.
Johnny, you want to make a cameo real quick? Can you say hi to everybody?
This white
She's
suit
saying no.
is hot.
Are you shy now? Oh goodness. All right, here we do. 2 weeks of conferences and she don't want to talk to nobody. Elena, hey Lisa and Liz.
Oh my God. So she's so amazing. Such a sweet person.
Yeah, great.
I told her I was obsessed with her.
Little conference obsession.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
cool. People are loving Pam Jacknick. This is awesome.
Oh yeah.
Pam just rocks.
Pam's-
Yeah, she's
Pam's the
great.
bomb.com.
Veronica checking in from South Yorkshire. This is great. Jill Wiley checking in.
Hey,
So what are we
Jill.
looking for? This is your first time in Omaha. This is my
Mhm.
second time in Omaha.
So I must have a steak, right, before I leave.
Well-
I mean, I need a steak.
Best steak in Omaha. Put in the comments.
Yeah,
what is
we need
the
a
best steak
Best steak.
in Omaha? Al Blumenberg, I see you out there. Al's going to get a weighted vote here, but everybody vote. What is the best steak in
Yeah,
Omaha?
I need a steak.
Al's saying we love all our service providers.
Oh,
Al, you're hilarious.
Yeah.
I can't. You're
Yeah.
so funny.
he keeps it real.
He
fun.
really does.
Yeah.
He keeps it fun. But that's why I like this conference. They're all like that. Like, Pam's
Mhm.
up there with personality
Right.
dancing. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, there's Vinny.
Did y'all have any?
Vinny!
Did y'all have any fun last
Vinny's in the
night?
house. Yeah, we had a great time.
My flight. I was supposed to be at dinner, but my flight was. We had a little hiccup. So
What happened?
no
on the
one wants to
flight?
hear that story again.
Oh, okay.
No,
Was it
we had to go
weather-related
back.
or labor
No,
related?
No,
it was actually
both.
sad.
It was actually both. It was the plane. The landing gear would not go back up, so we had to turn around and go back to Detroit, and then they found us another plane, and then there was a labor shortage and didn't have enough people to push us out. So,
Did you
yeah,
get
3
out
hours,
and
3
try to
hours.
push it?
They wouldn't let me.
Well, do they know how strong you are?
I guess not.
Okay, well, we'll fix that. All right, we've only got a few minutes left. This is a lot of fun, but you know what I did? I actually snuck into the expo hall because there's an
I was
expo hall
looking
portion of this
At all
show.
this.
I snuck into the expo hall, and I don't even think I was allowed to, but I did it anyway. Shout out to Debbie, who
This is
I'm just
super
telling. I'm
fun.
already ratting out who like helped me with this. So we got some of my favorite tchotchkes from the expo hall, and I'm doing a top five trade show giveaways at the
here we
NEI
go,
GPA.
okay.
And now, granted, this isn't Worldwide ERC.
Is that
There's not
cool?
like an enormous ballroom full of things, but there's a little ballroom full of things. And I found my favorite things, and I'm going to work backwards from 5. I've got 6 here. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to let you each veto one of them. I'm going to give you my top 5,
Okay.
and you can each veto one of them. If you say, Ben, you're out of your mind right now.
Mhm.
All right, so my number 5 is going to be, okay, here's my number 5. You ready for this?
I didn't get this. I was wondering if that was just sitting there.
This is, I know, you're like, is this equipment or is this,
Wow. Okay.
this is, okay, Powell has it's a Sharpie
Oh,
and you can do this.
oh,
And now
that's brilliant.
I'm a mover. All right. That's my background. So I see this. I'm like, oh, I can write on boxes. I can unclick it. I can set it down. I can pick it up. I can write on some more boxes. I'm not going to worry about my cap rolling around.
It's also good for
yeah,
nerves.
the cap
You
thing
can
is.
Your nerves get
When
to
you
you,
lose your
smell
cap,
it.
you're done.
It's
No,
fine.
You click it.
Oh,
the
you
nerve
click it.
thing
No, that's right. You
is-
click
Okay.
it. That's what I meant. You click
All
it.
right, that's a pretty good.
That's my
choice.
number 5.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you want to use your veto on this?
No, I think
I
that
wouldn't.
should
I
be
wouldn't be
number
mad
5.
at you if you did. Okay, because it's borderline. Okay. Then I've got this. Okay, this is Premia right here. Has this relax, breathe, live Premia relocation mortgage, and it is shea butter. Would you like to smell?
Mm.
It's
dying to
super.
smell
It's
this.
super thick,
Okay.
which I dry out on flights.
Yeah.
Little known fact. And so I like to hydrate, but I can't do all the hydration.
Mhm.
So sometimes I like to moisturize,
Right. Mm-hmm.
and I think that's important,
Mm-hmm.
especially in the winter. It's like 46 degrees here.
So
Yeah.
are these like in order, or they just?
This is my number 4.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to veto that.
Yes.
I think that this should be like, in like the top, maybe like this would probably be my number 1.
Okay,
But
so
you guys have to see
okay,
the rest.
okay.
Yeah, I don't see. I'm looking right
Doesn't
now.
get much better. Okay. Here goes. Okay. That was number 4. Okay. All right, you know what? I'm sorry. Just a good old fashioned Heath bar. Okay, somebody, I forget who brought the Heath bar. Ruoff, I think it was Ruoff brought the Heath bar. They had a whole bunch of candy bars, just big old candy bars. Like they had a bunch of stuff. And if it wasn't Ruoff, I apologize, y'all, if I'm giving the wrong credit to the wrong people. They brought a lot of stuff, but just big old fashioned candy bars.
Mhm.
Now Halloween is this weekend, and let's be honest. When you knock on that door and you get a full size candy bar,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, how you
It's a
feel like
big
$1 million
deal.
bucks.
It's a
And you
big
know what
deal.
else? Heath bar. Shout out to my Brits, English toffee. Heath bar. Also, my favorite Dairy Queen Blizzard topping. Anybody have something to say about Heath bar? Number 3.
Oh, Death by Chocolate. You used Heath pieces on that too. Death by
So
Chocolate.
versatile, so
It
underrated.
is.
Top 5 candy bar in the world. Anyway.
You want to know what my top favorite candy is, and it is overrated, and there's never enough in it. Is I love Milk Duds. Why is there only 3 Milk Duds in
Oh,
a box?
no.
Wait, time out. Milk Duds?
Milk
Top
Duds.
5?
Mine's
the
Reese's peanut butter
best.
cups, hands down.
Love them.
I mean,
So
that's
if they
not
had
bad.
Reese's, did they have Reese's peanut butter cups
No.
in there?
Yeah,
but-
but you have to have like 7 boxes of Milk
But
Duds.
here's the problem with Reese's peanut butter cups. They're not even the best Reese's product. Pieces are better than Reese's
No,
cups.
I love peanut butter and not a whole
And
lot
then
of
what
chocolate.
about the
It's
candy
perfect for
bar
me.
they have now? I mean,
Mm-mm.
and
Nope,
frankly,
that's
the
what I
ice
want.
cream they make. I mean, all right.
Okay, whatever.
Number 3. Number two. Okay. Again, transportation person.
Veto.
But
It's kind of cute.
I mean, I
It's
love Bud
cute.
Van Lines. Don't get me wrong.
Bud
but-
Van Lines, this is a tractor trailer. Oh, this is their load once product. This is their containerized product on a
it's their-
trailer, and then they can drop it. It's
Yeah.
it's what we call in the biz daisy chained. So it's a
Okay.
daisy chain tractor trailer situation, which is basically 2 trailers, hooked
Yeah.
together,
Is
and
it a
it's
stress
slightly
reliever?
askew, which I think is interesting because it's in motion.
Oh,
It is a stress relief. Of course, you can
Oh,
squish it.
okay.
You
Well,
can squish it,
okay.
which is
I still don't know if it should be that high
it's
up.
kind of
She
an
doesn't wanna
odd.
touch it.
It's an
Veto.
odd
I'm
shape.
vetoing that number in line.
Veto and number. Should it be not top 5 at all, or just
I
you
don't know. I
like
didn't
2?
get to see everything in
touch
there
it.
yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
If I had a little kid to give it to, maybe.
Yes, I
But
mean,
don't
I
have
got 2
one,
little
so-
boys at home, 3 and
Yeah,
6.
no, that's
Okay.
good for you.
All right. So this one is my number 1, and honestly, only because I've never seen it before.
Oh, God,
This is
what
the first
it?
thing I've never seen. I mean, I've seen a ton of these. Let me tell you, I've never seen one. What is it? Do you
I
want to
don't know.
tell
I'm
me?
scared.
Tell me what it is.
It doesn't
Okay,
look
can I
good
look
to
at it?
me.
Tell me what this is. And this is courtesy of IOR Global Services.
Oh, I love that.
Tell me what this is.
Um.
Let's put a timer on this.
Oh, hold on. It's a straw.
Oh,
Yes!
Yes!
It's a straw.
It's a
That's
straw.
great. I
It's-
would love that.
That
It's-
is awesome.
it's a
I'm gonna go get one of
telescoping-
those.
Telescoping metal
Oh,
straw,
wow.
so it's
Look
portable.
at that, and it's
It has
sustainable.
a carrying case.
That is so cool.
And here's one other thing I'm going to say about it. You know what else is funny about this straw? It comes with its own pipe cleaner, which if you're not cleaning your straws, you're missing out.
Wait
Oh,
a
no,
second.
I do
what
clean
what
mine at
number is
home.
this?
I
one?
This is
have
number
metal
1.
straws at home,
That
but
would
they
be my
don't
number
like do
1.
that.
You can clean it like that.
That's amazing.
And that
Yeah.
because this
No,
stuff
that's-
gets funky. Anybody have kids out there with sippy cups and stuff?
Yeah.
You get some nasty,
See,
nasty.
that would be totally number 1 for me
nasty.
because I can't stand paper straws. It's like somebody's
Oh
running their
gosh.
nails on a chalkboard for me. I cannot do it.
Yes, paper straws.
I
mean,
just
love
don't
the
do
sea
a straw
turtles,
if
but
I
no.
have to have paper.
So
I have
this-
to go get one of those.
So we're gonna be
because-
sipping out of these
No,
tonight.
we
Now the
are.
question, okay, you know what? We're putting this to the test because I don't know. It's something about a telescoping straw. Is it airtight? Because if a straw is not airtight, if a straw has a hole in it, how annoying is that, right? If you can't get a good suction. So we're gonna test this out right now. Beautiful, perfect. All right, well there you have it. That's the
Okay.
top 5 for today. How did I do?
Great. Yeah.
There's something else that
Okay.
was here though.
So that looks like I'm not gonna say, but
That looks like a deck of cards.
This is a deck. This is okay. So I got a couple honorable mentions here.
but it also looks like a pack of cigarettes to me.
Pack of smokes. Palmer makes
Oh, it
pack
does a
smokes
little
That's
now.
why I said it. It says
Pack of Palmer menthols.
I
Just
love,
kidding.
I
Just
love
kidding.
cards.
These are just playing
If
cards.
anybody wants to play cards with me, I love playing
What's
cards.
the game?
What game? Rummy.
Rummy.
500
So in the
Rummy.
lobby, we'll be playing Rummy till 3
Yeah,
o'clock in the
yep,
morning.
yep.
Sweet. Love it. Well, thanks, Palmer, for these. You made an honorable mention. And there we go. Any other things we want to say to the people out there? Look, at people are tuning in. This is
Just
great.
that
Oh, Barb
we
Hill,
miss
by the
and
way.
love them.
Barb Hill loves milk duds. I think that's.
Oh, there you go,
See,
Liz.
that because Barb. I love Barb.
All right.
Yeah, who doesn't love Barb? I mean, let's get real.
Look at this. Vinny, thank you. Heath Blizzard from Dairy Queen, the best ever. Yes, 1000%. Pam Metzger, yes, feeling major FOMO this week. So glad I got some time with Pam last week in Chicago, though. This is great. People are loving
Where
it.
are we going next after this?
What are the top 5
Where are we
candy
going
bars?
next?
Scott, word. What are the top 5? Don't steal an epic top 5, though. We're going to do that. Scott, why don't you come on the show and we'll do a top 5 candy bars. Francine Dressy quality lotion is the best. Is this quality? Let's try this, though. I haven't tried it out. We just smelled it. Ooh. I like that. Okay. Knuckles a test for me.
I want to try.
What's your problem spot, Liz?
Let's see. Knuckles for sure.
Knuckle?
Just your
What about
hand.
elbows?
Too.
Anybody
Yeah, y'all
elbows?
know I love my competitors.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
this
you know-
really is nice.
You know
Seriously.
what? I will
Great job, Premia.
Woo. What is
Great
that
job.
like?
Like
What is that like?
it's
Prickly
very
pear?
That's nice.
Wow, it's
What is
very
that?
soft.
Yeah, it is really soft.
That smells
I'm
like
gonna
do you ever
to
have
go get
those
some of
little
that.
green candies from the Vietnamese restaurant when you're done the little
Mhm.
sour
So we're gonna
sucker
run over
ones?
to Premium and then we're
That's
gonna
what it
get
smells like.
straws
Yep.
from
Yes.
IOR.
That's
All right,
really good.
everybody, this is fantastic. Thank you so much for being here. We're going to be on tomorrow and actually interviewing the folks from NEI. So
That's
all the
awesome.
supply chain people, and we're going to hear from Randy Wilson, the president and CEO here. She is pretty awesome, isn't she?
Yeah.
That's fantastic. We better read Al's last message. What was Al? Oh, Al. Ben, Liz, and Lisa, I'm buying cocktails in 3 minutes. See you there.